It is easy to make money from layer birds, but the only way you have to consider is security and also prevention of diseases. Most of the farms closed in 2021 because of the outbreaks. You can prevent the outbreaks, but not 100%, because some of the diseases cannot be vaccinated, like flu. We don't vaccinate flu, but that is the disease that attacked us in 2021 that made most of the farms close. But the only way to make money from poultry farming is to be around your farm, or near your farm, or give at least 2 hours on, spend 2 hours on your farm monitoring your birds. Also, vaccines help us to prevent some of the diseases, but not 100%, because Newcastle can attack the farm, but it cannot kill all the birds. All it can attack them and you treat it. But if you didn't vaccinate, Newcastle can kill the chicken or the whole farm within a few days. When it comes to the flu, there are 2 different types of flu. We have the strong flu and the weaker flu that you can spend a week without treating it. But the strong flu takes like 3 days and you find the whole farm is empty. The chicken are dead. So if you're absent, make sure that at least 2 hours. If you're dealing in broilers, you can spend a week, because they only need feeds, drinking water. You can get an outbreak on broilers, but when it comes to the security, broilers are more safer than the layers. If you want to earn from farming, make sure that you're always around. Poultry farming, layers mostly, they need you. Your presence is needed on the farm. You have to take this business as your first priority if you're going to deal in layers, not an side business. It should be your first main business if you're going to deal in layers. The reason why the layers farm get outbreaks compared to the broiler farms is because the broilers they stay for a short period on a farm, 6 weeks, more 2 months only maximum. But the layers, you have to stay for them and raise them for 2 years. So it is very easy to get an outbreak. Either you treat it or you lose the chicken, especially when you're absent. That is the reason why I always tell you that if you stay near your farm, you're more likely to prevent most of the diseases. We all get outbreaks, but you find some of the farms lose many birds, and others they lose or they don't lose at all. But we all treat diseases on the farm. When you're dealing in layers, expect to treat. And also vaccinate monthly. Guys, vaccines do not treat, but they help us prevent many diseases. We see most of the diseases through eggs. When they become pale, they change the color of the eggs, size of the eggs. So that is why we react immediately and treat. If you're not available, you find the chicken are weak. When you get an outbreak, when the chicken are not vaccinated, you find most of the chicken are down. If you're not available, most of the chicken will die. If you're available, you'll be able to treat and you recover most of the chicken. In 2021, I lost the 12 birds, and we found most of the birds thrown away in the bushes. Like someone throws 500 birds. That is a big loss. It took time for most of the farms to open again. So if you want to deal in poultry farming, make sure that you give the farm time. For the security, I have my dogs. So if you want to deal in poultry farming, you have to be with security. Before I started poultry farming, I would see thieves almost every day. They steal even the sandals that you leave on the veranda or outside the house. When it comes to the birds, if you don't have security, you find most of your birds are stolen. So when you get dogs, you'll be safe with the security. Most of the time I use the water that is preserved in the tank, but if I'm to use the tap water, the water of the taps are mixed up with the chlorine, so I keep that drinking water for 24 hours or 12 hours before the chicken drinks the tap water, because I don't want my chicken to drink chlorine water. I make sure that I give them chlorine free water. If you can preserve it, the better. If you can use the rainwater, make sure that you have to treat, because it produces some insects within 3 days. 3 to 1 week, you find that the insects, all the bacteria are inside the rainwater. It is good to use it immediately, but if you're going to keep it for some good time, it's good to preserve it or treat it to prevent the bacteria or the infections that could have attacked the chicken. Whoever wants to start poultry farming, this business is not bad. It can provide you capital and start another big business if you learn it, if you understand it, if you do it with your love. Make sure that it has to be your first priority. If you want to earn from it, it should not be your option, the second or plan B. These birds need time, so your presence is always required. You have to monitor them, you have to monitor your workers and everything that runs on the farm. Thank you so much. Let's meet.